We booked a 14-night cruise. After doing some research, we were dreading it. Oh no, have we made a huge costly mistake? Find out if it was as bad as we thought it would be, or if you should ignore online reviews.
This video is brought to you by Squarespace.
Well, ahoy there, cruisers. It's a very early morning start again. It's 6 a.m. Welcome to our house. We're getting ready to leave for the P&O Arvia, which is Britain's brand new and biggest cruise ship. Well, not quite brand new. She's almost a year old now, but still we're boarding her today from Southampton. It's about a 3.5-hour journey via train from our house, and we're boarding at 11:45, so it's a very early boarding time as well. So we'd like to get there nice and early so that we can spend as much time on board as we can. Now, as the incredible Julie Andrews once sang, let's start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. Did she talk that, or did she sing that? Or was it a rap? Anyway, going off subject, we have some regrets about booking this cruise. Now, we know we're very lucky to cruise, and we feel amazingly lucky and privileged that we're able to do this, but we've heard so many bad things over the last few weeks about the ship that we're going on, and looking at reviews on Cruise Critic where she only gets 3 out of 5 stars. There's a lot of problems, it seems, with this ship, and it's kind of put us off a little bit, which is really sad because we absolutely love cruising, but it's put a bit of a dampener on everything. Anyway, just packing the rest of the camera stuff. Now, this is what takes the blooming longest, because after every trip we have to back everything up a few times, reformat everything, recharge everything, and we have a lot of blooming equipment. Firstly, on our river cruise a few weeks ago, we spoke to a few of our friends who are also cruise travel vloggers, and they said they had a bit of an iffy time aboard Arvia. There was a couple of them saying that especially the passengers on board were quite a concern. A lot of bad behaviour and a lot of drunk people and a lot of people who you wouldn't usually see on cruises. Now, this is something we've actually seen, because looking at the P&O website, our cruise that we booked massively dropped in price the closer it got to the date. Prices were dropping down to £700 per person. Now, this is for a 14-night cruise, so that works out at less than £50 per night, including your flight back from Barbados to the UK, because our cruise is taking us on a transatlantic journey, 14 nights from Southampton, then down to the Canary Islands in Spain, ending in Barbados. So that package includes your flight. So it seems like from the reviews and from what our friends have said, a lot of people are going on just to get very drunk, buying the drinks package. We call them lager louts, so people who just sit in a bar all day and drink lots and lots and lots and just get very drunk and then get quite aggressive and rowdy. Like, I'm not trying to be offensive here, guys. We have no problem with any sort of people. It doesn't matter how much money you make or how good you are. It's all about your behaviour. I don't know why I went and blooming researched it. I saw it in the newspapers about fights and brawls and things on board P&O ships. We want to get on board this ship and be completely proved wrong, because we know the majority of passengers on P&O, 99% of them, are going to be amazing and fantastic, just like any other cruise line. But is that 1% going to ruin it for all of us? We've also heard problems about the sunbeds as well. So people getting up at 6 a.m. to reserve all of the sunbeds and putting towels on them, which really sucks. I mean, guys, getting up at 6 a.m. on your holiday, well, that's ridiculous, isn't it? But yeah, we're going to see what it's like. Finished packing. I'm excited, but very apprehensive at the same time.
Off we go. We're going to leave this chilly British weather behind, and we're off to the Caribbean. I'm ready.
Oh my God, it's so cold, David. We're at the train station. First stop, King's Cross. You know, the famous part of Harry Potter. That station. Anyway, can't wait to escape this weather. It's horrible.
Well, the sun is shining. Maybe that's a precursor to the sunshine that we're going to be getting soon on our Caribbean cruise. We're on our way now down to Southampton on the train, so very excited. A little bit nervous, as Ben mentioned earlier, but we're keeping an open mind.
Yeah, guys, trying to stay really optimistic about this. I mean, every cruise is different as well. This is the thing. And some people will complain about things that you won't complain about. And some people will like things that you don't like, and vice versa. So it might just be down to the individual person not liking the ship. But we're going to find out. And like David said, we're keeping an open mind. We're going to be very optimistic about this. So we finally made it to Southampton station. My gosh, is it depressing. The weather is just blooming awful here. So we are excited to be setting sail for hopefully sunnier and warmer climates. It is always a bit of a trial carrying the bags up and down the stairs and getting on the tube, but it was quite quiet this morning, so it was really lovely. Anyway, we're all set. We've got our bag tags printed off as well, so you can print these off before you come on vacation. And P&O have done some weird things lately, including getting rid of e-tickets, so now you've got to print them out, so you're back to the old-fashioned way. This is one of the things with P&O, guys. We'll talk about it during the episode, but they just do some really odd things for no reason whatsoever, which we can't understand, because we get to cruise a lot and see what works and what doesn't work. Uber's just about here, and then we're going to be getting on the ship. Let's go. So that's it, we're on the ship. That was, in fairness, incredibly quick and incredibly easy. We were on board within 15 minutes of arriving at the port. Got to say that is very, very impressive. I mean, this is P&O's home port and home terminal, so they're going to know how to do it. We boarded the Carnival celebration at this very port a year ago, and it was madness. It was so much more organised. We've got on board, we've quickly went to our muster station, which was super easy, just checked in there. All we had to do was really scan the piece of paper, our boarding card. I've got to say, I forgot, but it does feel like an airport waiting lounge in here. It is very beige with lots of windows, but it feels like a waiting area, if you know what I mean. I remember this from Iona. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it compared to the Carnival ships, which are done really, really well. Anyway, let's go grab some food, shall we?
So because we're staying in a mini suite, which we'll tell you all about in another episode, one of the little perks you get on boarding day is you have a welcome lunch. So we're going right to the back of the ship to the Meridian restaurant to go and check it out and fill our tummies. I'm very hungry.
Me too, let's go. You get to come here from a much quieter lunch, and it is really nice in here. We've been given a seat and there's a lovely little buffet with a nice selection of food. It all looks really good. So let's go sit down, have a drink, maybe grab a coffee as well, because we're still tired. It was a very early start this morning, but we've also noticed a few changes compared to the Iona as well, which we'll talk about later on as well. So let's go grab some food, shall we? First food on board. Yeah.
So yeah, it's really busy here in the lunch. There is a small selection of nibbles available, but complimentary drinks as well. So love a free drink. Cheers.
You know what, that was a really good start. I've got to say, we got speaking to a few people. We were put on a shared table, which we don't usually like, but we got sat next to a couple of couples on the same table, and everybody was really, really lovely, really friendly, super excited about the cruise. There's something special about transatlantics. Everybody seems really enthusiastic. Service was good. We got free drinks. The food was good. We're off to a good start, guys. Could this be different to what we thought it was going to be? Because we didn't have any problems really on Iona with people, but we'll see. I'm really excited though now. We're not going to show you around the cabin yet, so stay subscribed to our next episode where we will show you. All will be revealed in the next episode.
Let's have a look.
David's just found our cases. They're a bit further up. I don't think they've been brought down yet, but that was very quick, David.
Yeah, it was quicker than we were. Hi, I'm David. I'm your cabin attendant for this cruise. So lovely to meet you. Is there anything else I can get for you in your cabin today, sir?
Oh yeah, a couple of extra pillows, please, but that will do.
Okie dokie.
Thank you very much.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a little walk around and explore the ship. Let's go.
So I think I might have mentioned it, but this is the exact same ship type as the Mardi Gras by Carnival and the Carnival Celebration, as well as the Jubilee, but it's configured very, very differently. It is a monster ship. She holds 5,200 to 6,200 passengers, depending on whether or not it's double occupancy with kids and things. So don't be underestimated. This is a very, very big ship, and the UK's biggest ship by P&O. So yeah.
So we're just walking back through this ship, the centre of the ship, where we first got on board. It is a really big open space. It's not something, we don't know if we do like this or not, because the problem is there's a lot of activity going on, so it can get quite noisy and bustly. And it does feel like everything is just in one area. So I don't know if you can hear, there's actually music coming from 3 levels below us. But around here you find lots of bars, restaurants, specialty restaurants, and it is all very open plan, like I said.
Building a website and creating your online presence couldn't be any more simple than with Squarespace. First, choose one of the many templates and start a free trial. Use our link below to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Then create your website using the easy-to-use drag and drop builder. Then customize the site to fit your brand. There's hundreds of designer fonts, colors, and stock photos. And if you don't already have a logo, make one for free with Squarespace's online tool. Then publish your site and promote it using the social media and email marketing tools. Then use the powerful analytic tools to see what's performing and grow your online presence. We've built our whole website using Squarespace and always get so many comments to say how nice it is. You too can create a beautiful website. It's quick and easy, and you don't need to be a designer or coder. Squarespace's intuitive interface makes it easy to bring your vision to life. So what are you waiting for? Head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Ben and David to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
It's also going to be our first ever Halloween at sea. We haven't done this before, so there's a few decorations about. Anyway, this whole central area, very simple, very similar to Iona, but there are a few different changes. There's a few little extra lights and fixings and stuff, and it does look a little bit warmer and a little bit more homely than Iona does, because Iona did feel very clinical and very like a airport lounge, but we think they've improved things on here a little bit. So far, so good. So this is the Sky Dome. They're currently showing a movie in here. It is a really nice space, and we absolutely love, sorry if you can't hear me over the blooming dinosaurs, that it's got a roof on that can retract. So unlike the other ship, the Iona, which doesn't have a retractable roof, this one does, which is really awesome.
So we're just having a walk around. The sun has just broken through the clouds a little bit, so we've ran outside to make the most of it. Just having a look at the outdoor decks, check out all the different pool areas.
There's lots of outdoor space on this ship, really. It is like the Carnival ships.
Yes.
I do love they've got the big dome there. Sorry if you couldn't hear me. Then you've got the normal pool area, the adult pool area. There's an extra pay area called the Retreat, which you can pay to go into as well.
Yeah, there's a couple of aft pool areas as well, which we'll have a look at in a second. So does feel like there's lots of outdoor space. There is lots of sunbeds everywhere. It is a little bit like takeover of the sunbeds. Like they've been multiplying overnight and suddenly there's 6,000 sunbeds. But that's because that's what Brits like to do, don't we? We like to soak up the sun while we can.
It's true, David. I could just get in that hot tub now, could you?
No, I was just feeling it. I always have a weird thing of feeling pools and hot tubs when I walk around. It's a little bit cold.
That's offensive. Jeez, that's freezing. They need to warm that up.
I think that the word for that is tepid.
Tepid.
It's a bit tepid.
But not something you want to put together with a hot tub.
No, I need mine hot. I need my skin singed to be in a hot tub.
Gosh, even though it is cold out here, blooming hell, I can't see a damn thing. Yeah, the sunbed thing is a real big problem for some people here on P&O, because like David said, the Brits really like to get sunbathing, even when it's not that hot, guys. And we've heard stories of all of the sunbeds being taken by 5 a.m. in the morning. People getting up at 5 and 6 to take all of the sunbeds. But yeah, these outdoor areas, lots and lots of sunbeds. So how can it ever be a problem? Guess we'll find out.
Something that is new is the swim-up bar down here, which is really cool. I don't think I've seen a swim-up bar on a ship yet. I know Royal Caribbean's new ship's going to have one.
Anyway, there's quite a few pool areas. So you've got the swim-up bar, an infinity pool at the back, then another pool just above as well. Oh, and I see something else new as well, David. Let's go and explore. So a brand new area on the ship is the altitude area. Now, this is a mini golf area, which is complimentary. But if you want to go on the ropes course, it comes in at an extra charge. £7.50 for an adult, £2.50 for a child. Quite surprising, because on most other cruise lines, Norwegian, MSC, completely complimentary. So it's a bit cheap of P&O to charge for that, we think. You've got to pre-book it as well. You can't just turn up. But it is good to see them putting more fun things on their ships, especially if they want to attract more families. There's more to do for kids and stuff, which is really good to see. Anyway, the sun's out a bit now, guys. What's going on? We're in the UK at the end of October, and it's sunny. This feels weird.
Would I pay £7.50 to do that ropes course? Absolutely not. It is tiny.
I didn't notice how small it was. It's about half the size of the one on the Carnival ship, the same type of ship, and that one's complimentary.
Yeah, absolutely. It does feel really cheap to be charging for it. I know it's only £2.50 for kids, but it adds up. If you've got a family of 3 or 4, that does start to add up. Ooh, steep and high. There's also a small kids water play zone as well, just next to the mini golf course. While it is nice to see, it's all a little bit bland. There's no splash of colour or anything. It's just against a white wall. I mean, give me a tin of paint and I'll give that a little bit of colour up behind there.
Oh, go on, Picasso.
Yes.
Here's another little area. There's some games and things as well, which is pretty cool. A giant chess. Got to give big props to P&O for having LNG on board. So that's liquefied natural gas. Now, this is a new type of fuel that a lot of the new cruise ships are coming out with, but not all of them. And it is so much better for the environment. So that is really good to hear. There are fueling now off the side of the ship, which is pretty cool for our long journey across the pond. Getting excited now, guys. Really looking forward to setting off and starting this journey. Now, everything can be nice and rosy on your first day of a cruise. So later on in the episode, we're going to skip forward to the end of the cruise, give it a week or so, and we're going to review everything from the ship, the entertainment, the crew, the food, you name it. We're going to give you our brutal and honest opinion and really let you know what it's like after a few days, because we can't tell on the first day, can we? but there's still plenty to do today. We're going to go for a nice meal, we're going to enjoy the ship, and we're going to see the sail away from Southampton. Next stop, Spain. I think one thing the ship definitely suffers from is blandness. There's no greenery, no colour, like no fake plants or anything, where other ships do it a little bit better. It is missing that a little bit. It does feel like just a sun lounge factory from the looks of it, but hey, it might look better in proper sunshine because it is a bit miserable today, so we'll reserve judgment for that. So we are all unpacked and everything. You're going to see that in next week's episode. I know we keep teasing you guys, but that episode is going to be a great one. It really is interesting. Anyway, it's time for dinner on our first evening. We're going to Sindhu, which is one of the specialty restaurants. It's the Indian restaurant as well, so we can't wait. We absolutely love our Indian food. And to have a specialty restaurant all about Indian food, yes, please.
I'm super excited about this. I am absolutely famished. I only had a couple of small bites for lunch, so I'm really excited for this. And Indian food is some of our favourite food. Let's do it.
Oh, sorry guys, you found me tickling the tassel of the light. Naughty. Anyway, we've been seated, we've been given a lovely cheeky little booth. Do love a cheeky booth here in Sindhu. Everything's priced sort of a la carte, so everything's sort of got a price. And the prices aren't too bad, it's about half what you'd find on land. Some cruise lines now are charging a blooming fortune, so beers are under £5 as well, so it's basically pub prices in the UK, so it really isn't too bad. Royal Caribbean and stuff are charging upwards of like $9 per beer, so it is not bad at all compared to some other cruise lines. It is quite budget friendly. Anyway, I'm going to peruse the menu for what I don't want so I can start picking what I do want. This is going to be difficult.
Ben, I'm loving the words we're using tonight. Peruse,
booth, perusing the booth. Yes, when we were looking to come on this cruise, I was reading lots of reviews and things like I said earlier on, and that was one of the main themes about passengers on P&O cruises being rude. Now, just the minority, obviously, but people shouting at crew, being very demanding. We've got to say, during lunch this afternoon, there was a woman who was sat quite close to us and she was very demanding. She was like, get me a drink now. And it was like, oh my gosh, calm down, you're on holiday. I mean, Brits do like a good moan, but we hate to complain though. That's a real strange thing, but we like to moan behind closed doors.
Or on the internet.
Or on the internet. So say something comes to your table and it's disgusting, the waiter will come over and say, was that okay? And you'll be like, oh yeah, that was excellent. Then as soon as the waiter goes away, you'll be like, that was the most disgusting thing I've ever ate. We're very different to like Americans and other people around the world. We don't like to complain, but we did read a lot of bad stuff about the passengers. Like we said, they can be quite rowdy and rude, and it's something that we're really, really not looking forward to. But luckily so far, apart from that one little incident on a table close to us, it's been good so far. So touch wood, it stays the same throughout the cruise.
And maybe that is because of the type of cruise that we are on. So we are on a transatlantic, and these do tend to attract a certain type of cruiser. These are people that are maybe long-term P&O cruisers or just love cruising because there is a lot of sea days. We also seem to attract less children or people with kids as well because they're in school now because it is term time. So that may be because of the type of people on the ship that we're not experiencing that rowdy behaviour that we've read a lot about online.
Yes, that's one of the best things about transatlantics and why I think this is our number 8th one. Not only because we get those sea days to relax, but yeah, very few children, and the people on the cruise tend to be really nice. Like David said, quite high up on the loyalty scheme because they're like these transatlantics, they're very good. I smell a starter. We've been given a pre-starter now. It's some poppadoms. They look more like chips or crisps, but they look very lovely. And we've got 3 different types of dip: a mango dip, a spicy dip, and an aubergine dip. Treat yourself. Let's try the mango dip. That is blooming delicious. Really crunchy poppadoms. They do taste like chips or crisps. That mango sauce, oh, divine. I went for the cumin and chili buttered chicken breast. It's a cool dish and it looks really yummy. Gonna go in and try it. Oh, that is really nice. Quite spicy. I like the bread in it and all of the fresh lettuce and things. It's really delicious with the tomato as well. Super good dish. Very impressive indeed. Anyway, also got these little stuffed balls. Again, very prettily presented. And guys, you absolutely know how much I like a good ball in my mouth, so let's go try it. Cheers. Oh, Bruce Springsteen. They are spicy. That's the best ball form food I've had in a long time. Holy goodness. They are just packed with flavour and a lot of spice. Oh my gosh. I'm going to down about 3 pints of water now. Really, really delicious. Who knew that such a tiny little ball could pack so much fun in it? Fun balls, I'm going to call them. Absolutely delicious. Oh, good start to the meal, guys. Super impressed. Oh, I love Indian food so much.
And this doesn't feel like any old Indian food. It feels a little bit fancy, doesn't it? I went for one of the street food dishes, and it's the paneer pancake wrap. Comes with 2 little dips. Crispy pancake, really nice tandoori paneer inside. This sauce is so delicious. It's like a spicy version of Heinz tomato soup. And I don't mean that in an offensive way, I mean that in a really delicious way. Yummy.
Ooh, so we were supposed to have left over nearly 2 hours ago now, guys. It's 7:30 and we were supposed to leave about 5:30. They keep calling out people's names, so I'm not sure if people haven't checked in or they haven't went to the muster station. Because if you don't do the muster drill and check in, the ship can't leave. It can't legally leave, so you have to do that. So make sure you do visit your muster station as soon as you get on. And then that's all of the painful stuff out of the way. It's all sailing and holiday time after that. But yeah, I wonder why we're still waiting.
Wow, I've got my own Lazy Susan of Indian dishes. I've got 4 curry dishes and 2 side dishes, plus a little bit of aubergine. Crispy, burnt, but in a really good way. Or I should say charred. That's the better way to say burnt when you're meant to burn it, isn't it? And spicy, but not blow your face off, like a really nice heat. The sweet potato one is really delicious as well. The curry sauce dishes are also really well flavoured, absolutely packed full of flavour. And again, not an intense heat, but a really nice slow burn. Really, really good. I'm really impressed.
I got the lamb buna and it looks absolutely wonderful. Oh my gosh, so it's big cuts of lamb with buna sauce on top. We also got some side dishes as well. We got some rice, obviously, with our dishes, and some dal as well as some naan breads. I'm going to go try this. Oh my gosh, that is wonderful. Super tender lamb. It is fatty, she did say, but it really, really works. That sauce is divine. Let's have a little try of the sagaloo. Ooh, for the love of Mumbai. Yep, that's a chilli. I just ate a whole chilli, guys. The right-hand side of my mouth is now on fire. Somebody call the firemen, preferably 3 of them, to come and help me. That is absolutely freaking delicious. All of my Indian dreams are coming true right now. What a feast.
So for dessert, I went for the deconstructed trifle. Comes with layers of cream, some deconstructed ladyfingers, some beef mince. Friends reference there for your Friends fans out there. Really, really delicious flavour, but very, very powerful, strong flavour. Like a thick, creamy, silky custard as well. Really delicious.
I went for the famous bread and butter pudding. I haven't had this before. Let's go have a try. It looks really lovely. Ooh, that is delicious. Very orangey, like marmalade. It's a little bit tart and sweet at the same time. Lovely bread pudding though. Really, really good end to the meal. Super impressed, guys. We'll let you know exactly how much it cost when we get the bill. We've just left as well. We finally left almost 3 hours late. The captain said it's going to be bumpy, so anybody who needs to take sickness tablets should take them now. So hopefully it isn't too bad tonight. We've definitely taken some, so hopefully we'll be okay. Fingers crossed. Ooh, we came outside and it is a bit chilly con carne. I am looking forward to that lovely Caribbean weather. Get me there as quick as you can, Captain. Anyway, really funny, guys. We're on some Facebook groups for crews. You probably are too, and you've probably seen this, but one guy's post about the not hearing the captain doing the announcements earlier on is quite hilarious. I think that sums up some of the passengers quite well. If you can't hear the captain, go sit in your blooming cabin. Everybody's having a really good time and a lovely night. It's hilarious. Now, fun fact, Nicole Scherzinger, you know, from the Pussycat Dolls off of the USA, that band, she's the godmother of this ship. How weird is that? It's a weird choice because there's so many amazing, powerful British women, and it's a weird choice because this is a very British cruise line, so to choose somebody from Hawaii was very odd indeed. P&O do make some very strange decisions. I'm not sure why, and God knows how much they paid her to do that as well. Very strange indeed, but yeah, she's the godmother of the ship. I love Nicole Scherzinger though, but would have preferred a lovely British strong lady, probably. Strong lady. Well,
What's called Margaret Thatcher?
Strong and stable like Margaret Thatcher. Oh my God.
Theresa May.
Theresa May, oh my gosh. It is freezing, guys. Should we get in?
Sorry, the camera's shaking.
There's not much to see because it's literally pitch black outside, so let's head back in, shall we? And these glass windows are super high as well, so you can't even really see, which is a bit annoying. I think we're going to head to bed now, guys, because we got up at bloody 5:30 this morning. So we'll see you later on. Good morning, everybody. How are you? It's the next day. Oh my gosh, was it bloomin' bumpy last night? I think we're going into some sort of storm. So do come prepared if you're passing this region with some seasickness medication. Other things that work, green foods, so things like ginger ale, ginger chews, apples, or all of that jazz. You can get the bands and stuff as well if they work for you. They don't work for us. A lot of the stuff is available to buy on board as well, but you are going to be paying a premium if you're on a cruise ship, so try and get it before you get on the cruise ship. All of that stuff, all of your medications and stuff. We always recommend putting like together a first aid kit with some plasters, band-aids, bring some paracetamol, ibuprofen, some tummy medication just in case you need it, indigestion relief and all of that jazz. Just put together a little kit and bring it on with you, then you're just covered if anything does happen.
Well, hello guys, it's a good morning from me.
David, can you hear that creaking? We are creaking like crazy, guys. We are really moving.
It is really rocking today, so we're not even in the Bay of Biscay just yet. I think we're just about to enter the Bay of Biscay, but it's very bumpy.
Oh my gosh, we have to visit Ripples at some point during the cruise. It's like an ice cream gelateria. Looks bloomin' lovely. They've got lots of lovely ice creams. Gelateria, is that a word? Gelatoria? Gelateria, I don't know what it's called, but yeah, it looks lovely. There's loads of ice cream. You can also go for an afternoon tea there as well, which is based all around ice cream. We've done it before. I think we're going to have to do it again at some point because it was so much fun. Prices are really reasonable as well, which is great. And I noticed some vegan options as well, so I can have some dairy-free stuff, which is fabulous. So I'm going to go treat myself there later on, I think. Ooh, we are rocking, guys. It's hard to walk. I feel like I've had one too many and I've not even had a drink yet. Ooh, this main atrium area does get really busy on a sea day, like many other ships. Here in the main atrium, it's over 3 different decks. On the bottom deck, you've got the coffee shop. And then all around, you've got several different lounging areas, bars, and there's a couple of the specialty restaurants in here as well, like the Glass House and the Keel and Cow. Really busy area, quite full of life. So they sometimes do performances in here from aerialists as well, which is really cool. But one thing that we really love are all of the windows because they are open all of the time, unlike the Carnival ships, and they're on both sides. So that's something we love to see. From my point now, I can see the sea on one side and the other, and that is so nice. You'll know how much we love our sea views. But yeah, we wish that the restaurants were maybe a little bit more self-contained because you don't get that sort of intimate feel that you get in lots of other specialty restaurants. So you don't get the same sort of experience. It almost feels like you're eating in a food court where people are watching you as they go by. We like the more intimate setting, but we're still looking forward to trying that food.
One thing that we absolutely love, and you may think this is a little bit sad, but we love the cinema on board. It has 3 screens showing different films, and some of them are actually quite recent as well. So currently, I mean, it's got the brand new Indiana Jones, which only came out like a month ago. They've also got vending machines. One of them sells alcoholic drinks, another one sells soft drinks, and the third one sells snacks as well. So you can purchase them here if you want to. Or you can just bring your own as well. There's nobody here monitoring anything. You just come in, find a seat and watch the film.
Oh guys, holding on for dear life. We've came all the way to the top of the ship to deck 16. It is noticeably more bumpy up here. So the higher up you are and towards the front and the back of the ship are always the bumpiest part. So if you do suffer from seasickness, stick to a lower deck and in the middle of the ship as you can. So book a cabin there as well in the center of the ship if you are prone to seasickness. Anyway, let's talk about something super important, booking everything on board, because it is important because you'll miss out otherwise. 2 weeks before your holiday begins, you can log into your cruise planner on the P&O website. Basically, you just log in using your reference number for your holiday, your surname, your first name, and your date of birth, I think. And you'll be given a whole host of things that you can book on board. Now, this is all of the dining on board, even some of the complimentary dining. You can start booking times in there as well. And then you've got all of the entertainment in all of the entertainment venues, like the Limelight Club, which books up very quickly, all of the big shows, which book up very quickly. Now, once you get on board, you've got something called the P&O My Holiday app. On here, you can do everything from book your dining, shore excursions, look at your onboard account, look at all of the bookings that you've done so far and a diary view of what you've got coming up for the rest of the days and weeks. So most importantly, you're going to be using this for your dining. Now, if you didn't make those bookings 2 weeks ago and the ship is full, it's most likely most of the spots are going to have gone for everything. So you're going to have to do something called join a virtual queue. You'll be given the amount of guests in the queue. You'll be shown that on your app and you just join the queue. And then when your table's ready, you'll be told on the webpage that your table's ready and you make your way to the restaurant. One annoying thing, very frustrating, is that you don't get a notification that your table is ready because it isn't an app, it's just a web page. So basically, you just need to keep looking at your phone constantly, which is so annoying, guys. So you've literally got to keep that page open and just keep looking to see if your table's ready. Nuts, isn't it? But yeah, super important to make your holiday so much better. And when you do use it properly, it's great. So normally would be the time that we end the episode, guys, and tell you exactly what we think, but because the weather's been so rubbish and it's been so movie and we haven't seen enough of the ship to give you our evaluation of exactly what it's like, and should we have been worrying about this cruise, we'll see you towards the end of the cruise where we can give you our full evaluations, so stay tuned. Hopefully it's all positive. Well, hello and welcome back. So we've been on the ship now 10 days, so I think we've got a good gist of what it's like on board. We've done all of our 9 sea days. I think we're on our last sea day now, which is pretty crazy. Should we go sit down and talk about it? First of all, we'll have a look at some of the major complaints that this ship gets online on places like Cruise Critic, and we'll see if they're true or not. Let's go for a coffee, shall we? This ship, unfortunately, only gets a score of 3 out of 5 on Cruise Critic from a lot of reviews, so a lot of people don't like it. So we've delved into some of those comments and we've just brought together sort of 5 or 6 points that everybody seems to have similar complaints about. Number 1 is badly behaved people on board the ship. So people getting drunk and causing havoc and causing fights and things like this. Now, this is one thing that we were really worried about, like we said when before we came on the cruise. But honestly, guys, we have not seen really any of that at all. All the passengers on board have been really, really lovely, really friendly, really talkative, really nice and well behaved. Now, one major complaint that keeps coming up are the sunbed hogs. So those people that get up at ridiculously early in the morning and go save a sunbed. Now, whilst we were doing our ship tour the other day, we were thinking, my gosh, there are so many sunbeds everywhere. It's like a car parking lot for sunbeds. We've never seen so many before. There's no chance that these are all going to be taken. Ooh, hold the phone, guys. We were wrong. Oh my gosh, we've been up several times at 6:30 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning, and every single blooming sunbed is taken or reserved. Most of them reserved with a towel over them, with a clip on them. We know the Brits love to sunbathe. It's not something that we see on other cruise lines, really. Whilst the Lido decks and the outdoor decks do get very busy on other cruise lines, we have never, ever in our 100 cruises seen anything like this before. There are so many people out there. It's like people soup and just incredibly uncomfortable. And one thing that we kept saying is that all of these areas have no ambience or music or anything like that. So there's never music playing on the outside decks, which is very odd. So you can hear a pin drop when you're out there. It's a very, very strange ambience. There's just basically no ambience out there. There's no fun and niceness like the other cruise lines. We don't see fun things happening around the pool like we do in other cruise lines. It's very, very sedate and somewhat disappointing. But yeah, that definitely was one of the points that we were worried about. Reserving some beds, the crew are not doing anything about it, which I don't blame them for, because there's so many people doing it. It would be an all-day full-time job for a lot of people to uphold that.
The next big complaint is about the app saying that it's terrible. In short, yes, it is. We completely agree with that criticism. While it does have features on there that are useful, it's just really clunky and bad to use, and it really does affect your holiday because they make you use it a lot on this cruise.
And the final one is that the ship is too big and it's too packed. Now, personally, I think this ship holds its passengers quite well. The ship does suffer on sea days when the weather is bad because everybody comes inside. But when the sun is out and everybody's distributed around the ship, it really isn't too bad at all. I wouldn't be worried about her being a big ship. She's massive and she does take a few days to get used to, but she holds the passengers pretty well in all fairness. So to answer the big question, should we have been worried? Well, yes and no. The sunbed issue is an issue, but the other things we just haven't seen on board the ship. We feel very, very lucky to be on board and we're very happy to be here. We've had a great time regardless of how we feel of the ship. And this is the big problem for us, guys. This just isn't the cruise line or the ship for us. We find it all a bit bland and we like our cruise ships a little bit more spicy. For some reason, we just prefer the American style of cruising, so cruising with Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruise Line, Celebrity Princess, that sort of thing. The main problem for us is the ship. We just find it incredibly bland and underwhelming. It doesn't have any soul or heart. It feels very, very cold. A strange one. It feels like an airport or a waiting room or an upscale hotel. It just doesn't have the buzz or the attraction that we like about cruising. We found the whole experience just quite strange and confusing because it's a super modern ship, but with very traditional values in some places, so it's quite restrictive and very strange. And things like the entertainment and especially the paid food have been fantastic. We're going to review them even more in other episodes. It just hasn't been the best experience for us, but we feel so lucky to be here. We've still had a fantastic time anyway. We've spoken spoken to lots of people on this cruise ship who really like the ship, and that's the great thing about cruising. There's so much choice. We're not here to sort of bash it and say it's bad, because for some people they really like it, but for us it's just a bit underwhelming, especially that atrium area, guys. It's just so dead and quiet, and it has no atmosphere at all, and people walking through the restaurants and things, it's just not a pleasant experience for us. We just prefer different ships, that's just the way it is. But make your mind up yourself. Some people will love the ship, it just isn't for us. You've always got to look on the bright side of life, don't you? There's people much worse off than us in other places of the world that aren't able to cruise. Anyway, let's go inside because it's just starting to rain, and there's a lovely rainbow as well.
So it's not all doom and gloom. Let's talk about some of the positives about this cruise. Well, first things first, the onboard charges are really reasonable. Onboard bar prices, specialty dining, extra charges for like ice creams, and also the excursions are really reasonable compared to other cruise lines. I mean, sometimes you're paying £5 for a specialty dish, you know, £5 for a drink of beer, which is really good value. So if you're looking for a budget cruise option, this is a good one to look at. They do have a wide range of prices, and they do tend to do some really great deals on cruises, especially last minute cruises, so keep an eye out for them.
So another big upside, of course, is that the kind of package holidays, especially if you're coming to the Caribbean or somewhere quite far, all of your flights are included with the holiday, which is really fantastic, and it's just very, very convenient. So say you'll check into a flight in the UK. There's various different airports all around the UK where they do fly from. You'll check in your bags at the airport, and the next time you'll see them is in your cabin on the cruise ship. How cool is that? Just catching up on some work, guys, and we're just on a Facebook group. So basically almost every cruise that you go on will have some type of Facebook group with all of the people planning to go on to the cruise, and ours does too. Lots of people complaining about things like the entertainment, like we were saying, a lack of entertainment, and that some of the entertainment's a little bit weird and quite childish. Somebody just said that there was a big bust-up fight the other night in the bar downstairs in Casino, that some people had a disagreement, ended up fighting each other, then being pulled off each other, which is really unpleasant. And then we've got lots of threads about the sunbed issues as well, about people getting up at 6 a.m. to get the sunbeds, and some people are taking things into their own hands and removing things from sunbeds an hour or two after the people haven't been there, then getting into arguments and fights as well. It just really isn't pleasant. I am quite ashamed to call some of these people my fellow countrymen and women. It is, yeah, it's a bit disappointing that you're getting behaviour like this on a cruise. You're on bloody holiday, just enjoy it and just be nice to people. But yeah, lots of threads complaining about things, so it's not just us. Guys, I'm still reading after half an hour. This blooming forum Facebook group thing is more entertaining than the cruise. It's providing lots of entertainment, lots of people complaining, like I said. A lot of people complaining about people smoking as well, and we have noticed the smell of smoke on our balcony when we do go out there. It's, yeah, it's not good. You should never smoke on your balcony. A lot of people complaining about people vaping indoors as well, just randomly bringing out their vapes and just vaping indoors. Also not allowed. It's really unpleasant for those who don't smoke. So crazy days, isn't it? But yeah, very entertaining reading this. It's keeping me busy for a little while and stopping me from doing work, which I'm all for, so. So we're all ready and dressed for tonight's evening, guys. We had some disappointing news. Basically, we were supposed to be seeing the big show tonight, which is the Take That Greatest Day show, but it's been cancelled. The captain just came on saying due to a cast injury. Let's go for dinner, shall we? We're going to go to one of the specialty restaurants. It's called Green & Co, and it's brand new on the Arvia, so let's head off and eat, shall we?
Very looking forward to Green & Co. So this is a vegan and vegetarian restaurant. It also has sushi. I don't think it's very popular because every single day they've been doing special offers, trying to offer glasses of wine halfway through the cruise, and then we also got another offer today to offer you 20% off. So I don't think it's a very popular restaurant on here, and most people say, oh, well, I'm not vegetarian, I like my meat. So I don't think people are enjoying it, so we're going to give it a go and see what it's like.
So I've checked in using the app or the web page, but it's crashed now and it won't reload, so I can't see if we've been called or not. We were number one in the queue, so we should imagine it should be very quick. So we're just going to head back there because it just won't load. I'm just getting a blank page. It happens quite a lot, that, and sometimes the page freezes as well, which is incredibly annoying. Right, where is this restaurant? Oh, it's towards the back here. Let's go.
We've popped our orders in and we're really looking forward to it because we've heard good things from the people that have eaten here before.
Wow, so our starters have came out. It looks very, very impressive indeed. This is the sort of food I was wanting on board. It looks beautiful. We've got a sharing platter, which is a Mediterranean sharing platter. And we've got some lovely sweet potato pakoras as well. Let's crack into one of these pakoras, shall we? Oh, David, they're very good. Crispy, sweet. Love the sauces as well, they're really nice as well. All of the dips are really delicious in this little centre plate. I don't know why people are so resistant to come in here. This is, so far, probably one of my favourite meals. And we've only had the appetisers.
I got the tofu dumplings and they look really nice as well. Let's give them a try, shall we? That broth is packed full of flavour, really tasty. Just feels really like warm and lovely. The tofu actually tastes like chicken. This is probably the best fake chicken dumplings I've ever had. Quickly becoming my favourite place to eat on the ship.
When David said go to the vegan restaurant, I thought it was a missed steak. Sorry guys, no more cheesy vegan puns because there's no cheese in this. So for my main course, I went for the cauliflower and cumin dish. Ooh, really nice. It's cauliflower about 3 different ways, so it's cauliflower pureed. A lovely strong taste to it as well. It's very well seasoned, which I really appreciate it. And lovely and hot as well. A really nice main dish. I like it.
For my main dish, I got the aubergine grilled. Not sure if I love that. It's not, them flavours are not my favourite, to be honest. I also find it's a bit strange because there's no bite to anything, like everything's quite mushy. It almost tastes like a dish you'd give somebody without any teeth. The flavours are nice, but they're just not my favourites.
Oh, and for dessert, I had a lovely panna cotta. It was beautifully presented, guys. Very delicious. It had bits of coconut and stuff in there. Really, really good. Overall, the bill was £29, so just under £15 each. As we mentioned earlier on, that's half the price of any other cruise line, guys. And for the food we had in there, it was absolutely fantastic.
And I had the chocolate creation, which was very similar to something you'd get at Wonderland on Royal Caribbean. It was absolutely beautiful to look at and it was really tasty as well, so really enjoyed that. Give it a go if you're on this cruise ship. Don't let the menu put you off because it was absolutely delicious. Like I said, it's quickly became one of our favourite restaurants on the ship and fantastic value as well.
So guys, I just want to end the episode with just to say our review is completely subjective. So it is our review. Everybody has different opinions. Everybody likes different things. If we were all the same, it would be very boring indeed. So like any review, take ours with a pinch of salt and make up your own mind about what you like to do, what you like on cruise ships and things like that, because we like different things to other people and other people will agree with us. Some people won't agree with us and that's fine, but don't come for us in the blooming comments. And we can't wait to bring you next week's episode. It's a really good one, so make sure you subscribe. We could not believe what happened and we could not believe our cabin either. Jeez. Hey everyone, it's our last day, so we've been on board for 14 whole nights now. We just wanted to update you with a few things that have happened on board. Now, one of the performers, Gareth Gates, he's a UK celebrity, was performing in one of the lounges on board, and he's posted to his many followers on Instagram that he was getting bullied by the people next door. He suffers from having a stutter, which is he's always tried to overcome and things, and apparently the people in the cabin next door were really, really being horrible and abusive towards him and singing songs that were quite nasty, changes by David Bowie, so changes, and shouting over abuse at him, which is absolutely awful. Now, in the last few days, there's also been a few other things happen. A massive fight, which had people chucked off in Tortola, which was terrible. You had a big orgy in one of the hot tubs involving more than 2 people, and they've also been chucked off of the ship as well. We've also heard several fights between couples as well, screaming at each other. We had one person chucking her partner's belongings off one of the cabins. Maybe it is because they're selling these cruises for so cheap now and reducing the prices at the last minute that unfortunately it's attracting people who wouldn't normally cruise and are a little bit more troublemakers. I'm not sure, guys, I can't say myself because I don't know these people. We've also had some abuse ourselves, guys, as well. Walking past an older gentleman the other day. Oh my god, it's those bloggers again. Not very nice as well. And we walked past a group of older guys the other night as well, and they sort of said in a very feminine voice, "Hello," which is a really nasty slang term in the UK for gay people. It really makes us not want to come back on these cruises again. And luckily though, 99.9% of people that we've met on this cruise ship have been absolutely lovely to us. So friendly, so calm, so is the minority. Anyway, just a quick update.
Always check your bill at the end of any cruise. I always do this just to make sure that the charges all add up and double check that you've not been charged for stuff you haven't used. So we found out we've been charged for 2 restaurants that we actually prepaid for before we even got on the ship. So I need to go down now to reception and go and query that to get our money back, because that was like nearly £100. But be careful, because some cruise lines don't give you a printout anymore. P&O still do, but a lot of them, they just email you after. So just double check. If you would like to support us even further, you can join us on Patreon. In return for joining our Patreon, you get extra benefits like behind the scenes videos. We also put our videos up early and advert free, plus we do a monthly Zoom chat. Your support means we can make these videos and be honest and balanced, just like we have been in this video. So please head over to Patreon to find out more. You can find the link in the description section below. So that's it for this time. Until next time, happy cruising.